Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Good, so back to the GitHub. Fix Generals hang in infinite loop. Texture loader has an infinite loop while power that which Generals. This is the same in 0 hour. Doesn't exist. Texture loader. Why can't we find this? Why is this not found? What is this? Hä? That is found. Okay, so was this introduced by move CSC files to core. Flush. It was this here. Let me see. This here. Texture loader, DNet, validate texture size. I see. Okay, so he has this one covered and this one here, but not this one. This one is covered. Maybe needs to be initialized with 1. That is how 0 hour does it in there's another depth in this. blocker crash. Okay. This change is the first pass on the networking passing classes. The network messaging works based on serialized messages that can vary in length. The message headers can vary in size and are constructed by setting or reading tokens in a specific ordering. This first pass optimizes some of the logical handling by replacing long if-else-if blocks with switches. It also makes the message length retrieval functions return fixed sizes instead of calculating the size on the fly. Some of the message length functions have to perform calculations and the messages can be variable in length, but where these occur, I have filled in the prior size of the header to cut down on the calculations. Inside the message size functions, I commented out but maintain the original message size handling code as the message structures need documenting. Oof. Okay, it sounds complicated, but it's not. Well, actually, that's quite a bit. Oof. Oof. The fuck? What the hell is this bullshit? Okay. Okay, so you changed the else if to break and case, switch case, yeah. Oof. The diff is really hard to look at. Let's use the split one. That will probably be a bit easier to look at, yes. This comment is not needed. Okay, fair enough. TRPCFD. There's another switch in the switch case. Switch command type. Blah, 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 blah. Oof. Run ahead. Player leave. Frame info. Keep alive. Blah, blah, blah. Chat progress. Wrapper file announce, file progress, blah, blah, blah. This kind of command is not needed several times in this change. Okay, so far so good. And now this bullshit. Uh-oh. Oof. Oof. First to the size, to the bytes, the byte count of the message header. Bytes to the size of the message header. I'm really not a fan of these big. Is there no other way? Can we perhaps make this a struct with no padding? How would we do that? So the problem is, like a normal struct with padding doesn't work, right? So like if you create a struct with a 4-byte integer, and then afterwards you put this byte, and then a bunch of bytes come here, and then the short, and then there could be like a pad, right? So this needs to be unpadded. Let's see. With in C++98, how can we align? How can we align a struct to 1 byte? Does not provide a built-in align as. Pragma pack push. Okay. About we make this a struct with no padding. Structs header message header, and then there will be Signed in. Frame number. Why does the relay have two values? Why do all of these have two values? What is this? Oh man. Then it can be, then its size can be used like size of message header, and it can be easily kept in sync with other places that use the structs. I'm really not a fan of this here. Yeah. Yeah, these things should be structs. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. Yeah. Oh, it's a massive change. And it doesn't stop. Maybe it would be better as a follow-up change to do this. Let me read again what he wrote. The first pass optimizer. Yeah, my suggestion is to revert all of these things and properly implement it in another change where all these things here become structs and they are used wherever this reading and creation of packets is being made, so that they all use the same formats, the same bytes streams, because this is unsustainable here. This is bullshit. It really is. So I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. I mean, it is a slight improvement because it doesn't do this shit here, but this is outrageous. Yeah. I don't like it. Perhaps. Yep. Good. Okay. Good. I will get back to code. Good. So last session, we did make progress with the frame rate decoupling. There's one leftover issue with the camera. All right. The camera not moving properly when the logic frame rate is smaller than the render frame rates. Good. Now the question is, how do we tackle this? How do we tackle this? Okay, let's look at it once more. Yeah. Okay, so the logic FPS is 30 and the render FPS is 60. Let me enable fraps. Okay, somehow that doesn't work. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the units, they move correctly. That's good. They shoot and everything looks fine. They fly also. The camera. Okay, what do we do about the camera? Does the camera move at normal speed? If it is moving. Yeah. No, it moves. It looks like the camera moves twice as fast as it should, right? Yeah. I think what happens is the camera moves twice as fast and then it waits for the remainder of the time it should have taken to get there. Could that be? But it's strange that the movement is much shorter than this wait time here in the static camera. The camera now moves 4 seconds. But we are waiting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, way longer. Very strange behavior. No. Okay, are we ever hitting this here? Probably not. Draw all views of the world. Okay. So if we step into update camera movements, this guy is called from updates. Updates. Update views. Update views. Yeah. Update views. Updates. Maybe this update needs to be moved out as well. Update, camera, scripted movement. Yeah. But I don't think we can move this into the like having smooth camera movement is one of the core desires of having a high frame rate, right? So it should be bound to frame rates. Make this frame rate independent. Huh. Well, how about we move this update remove this update. What about a particle system? How do these look? If we erase the logic, okay, so let's take the update views and let's put that into this and this function. Which would mean that we also have to do this here. And then here remove this. Let's see. Error. Okay, let's hope that this helps. Okay, so So the logic is 30. And it's stuck. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see where that is stuck. Interesting. Draw views. Huh. Interesting. That totally broke everything. Huh. This is no longer executing here. Oh, that is interesting. Oof. Why not? Huh. We no longer reach here. Why not? Let's see where it's stuck. Draw. 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 Oh. I see. What is this here? Freeze time. Why freeze time? Huh. What the hell? Oof. Oof. Interesting. That kind of explains the behavior we have seen though, right? So the rendering will freeze up in this loop here, and it will keep moving the camera until it has finished. Oof. Interesting. Okay, so it wants to do update here. Yeah. Okay, so I think we can agree that the camera is moving too fast. Yeah. How do we solve that? The frame length. Yeah. Okay, I suspect that here we should say max default max render FPS. Okay, where does it, where do we set this guy? In display. Okay, set display. Insert here, this one. Good. So here we update the frame length to this. Yeah. And a time step. So I think here we need to add this one, sync time. Unsigned int. Then we can remove this here and this here. Okay. So. Okay, so we now have 60 FPS render. Camera is moving slowly. Yeah, this looks promising, but it still freezes up. Why is that? Let's take a look at the way the camera movement is created. Here, set up waypoint path. No. Move along waypoint path. Total time milliseconds. Let's put a breakpoint in here. It's a bit confusing. The camera to set up the waypoint path is called move camera along waypoint path, and the function that actually does the update is move along waypoint path. It's almost the same, almost the same contents. Okay, but it's not this one that is being called. Is it this one? Yes. Okay. Ten seconds. Time 1000. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Milliseconds. Milliseconds. 10,000. Move camera to an interesting fashion. Yes. How about we take a look how this total time milliseconds is being processed in here. This looks about right. So we have 60 FPS. So we add 16 milliseconds here to our elapsed time. And it wants to reach 10,000, aka 10 seconds. Yeah. Total time, 10,000. Delta time. Total time, elapsed time milliseconds. Divided by total time. That's a really small number. Huh. Huh. Oh boy, time multiplier, 1. Did updates. Man. Update camera movements. Right now, I don't quite understand what the problem might be. It's maybe some really small error in how the delta is calculated, or the camera movement in regards to the time. Something is weird, but what is it? What is it? How about we check how this freeze time comes to be? That's maybe a good idea. So at some point, freeze time is true. The question is why? Let's put a breakpoint here. Condition freeze time equals true. Huh? Freeze time true. Okay, so that appears to be not true. Let's put the same breakpoint here. And here. freeze time true if last frame is identical to this frame. Okay. Hack to let clients spin fast in network games, but still do effects at the same pace. Okay, but we have a lead here. The time is frozen. Game client get frame 4479. Okay, why is it not advancing then? Hack to let client spin fast. Last frame. Okay, so this condition is true. Because, yeah, we have every second frame, basically, will have freeze time equal true because the last logic... Wait, this is game client. This is not game logic. Oh. Game client, game logic. 4480. Four 479. Why do both game client and game logic have a frame? Well, that's weird. 4480. Okay, but it's logical that we have freeze time enabled sometimes. Yeah. Not this camera movement finished. Okay. Good. So it explains why we enter this behavior. Yeah. But I still don't understand, why is the camera not moving then when it's time to move? Move camera. We need to check why this is not being called for quite some time. What are the conditions for this update? This. Yeah. Yeah. Updates. false. Okay, I understand why. So the problem here. Okay, I understand now why this freezing happens. Yeah. Okay. So the problem is we want to move along a waypoint. Yeah. And then we will have this freeze time frame here because we do skip one every second frame, a frame update here. And then it will enter this guy here. It will enter this condition down here. And then it will keep updating for as long as it can until the camera movement is done. Yeah. Why there is a gap between these guys, that I don't understand. But I guess that's a different issue. Maybe it's completely related. Maybe it's completely related, yeah. Okay, we need to fix that. Okay, I understand the problem. I don't know yet how to fix it though. Okay. I mean, it does say it's a hack, and I agree with that. It looks like a hack. Good. How do we fix that? I need water. Okay. Good. Yeah, so let's recap one more time. We have this freeze time thingy here. And this becomes true when we don't advance this frame. Which happens because the logic frame update has a smaller tick than the render updates. Right? It only updates every second frame when the logic step is 30 FPS and the render step is 60 FPS. Good. How do we solve this? It was intentional to let the client spin fast in network games but still do effects at the same pace. Which probably is related to like disconnect or something like this, right? When the game is pausing, when you have like players dropping connection. Okay. Freeze time. Freeze time. frozen. We probably need to say that this condition is probably wrong, and instead we need to say okay, just to just for testing, let's comment this out for now, which should then solve the problem for now. That we need to revisit this condition then. Let's see if that will work. Wow. Okay, so let's change the logic and the render 60 FPS. That looks good. Yeah, that fixes the mess. And now we can increase the logic to 60, and now everything will be fast. Okay, fantastic. That's pretty cool. Yep, this looks very, very good. Very good. Let's logic to 30. Now we go to rendering down to 30. Rendering to 60. And logic to 60. Okay, the camera movement is not quite right though. There still is some issue. Yeah. I suspect this happens because of inaccuracy with the integer numbers. Yeah. Basically, we go from 33 to 16. And maybe because of the lost precision, some things go a little bit off the rails. That could be, right? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Okay, but as long as things are fine, if we have the logic at 30, then I think it's good enough. Okay, so render is 60 now, and logic is as per the original. This now the camera is in the correct position. I suspect there's some issue with I don't know what it is. Well, it's a separate issue that is just being highlighted by this decoupling, right? Yeah. Just something that's not accurately implemented or has some error somewhere. Okay, but as long as everything looks fine with a normal step, I think this is good enough. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so then the next question is, how do we properly substitute this condition this here? We basically need to say that under some condition, let's go to game engine here. Frame data ready. Frame data ready. Frame data ready. Maybe let the client spin fast in network games but still do effects. Yeah, then maybe what we can do is we just say if the network is not null and this that should fix it as well. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, I would like to see what happens regarding the camera movement accuracy on 60, on double the speed for the logic frames. I do wonder. Um, how about in this engine, how about we set, just for experimentation, what happens if we just add two 2 milliseconds here? So this would turn into 16 plus 2 on 60 FPS logic. Let's see. Oh no, that won't change anything, right? Let's test it anyway. So it now moves faster than it should be, effectively. Okay, and if we double the logic FPS, what then? Oh. 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 Okay. So I do see a little, the movement pattern is a bit different, but So it seems that changing the logic update, it also affects the movement of the camera somehow. But why? Maybe... Yeah. Let's check. Let's check. Let's go to the camera. Move camera. Let's search for logic frames. Huh, it's not in here. Let's search for 30. Move along waypoint path. Total distance. At that time. I would have expected a small discrepancy, but the discrepancy that we see is really quite large, right? So that is suspicious. If the camera movement was just a little bit off because of the integer imprecision, then we would just say, yeah, okay, we need to switch it to real, and then it would be accurate. Otherwise, yeah, we have this inaccuracy. But the camera movement difference is really quite substantial, so I'm really not sure what's going on there. It's quite substantial. Oh, Jesus Christ. What happened now? Delta time, 18. Okay, this also means that we need to display. We need to put this here back and remove this here again. And here we also say the network. Network is not now. I think we should move this into a new function so that we can share it with the other one. The question is, how do we do that? Because there is this static here. Last frame. Actually, I think this here can be removed here. Then we can add here a new function bool. Do freeze time. Or we say do freeze time. That's not a good name. Is time frozen? Static. Maybe we move it above the step function here. Then we say if these two return true, if this return true, if this return true, or if stop paused. Put that here. This time frozen. Yeah. Good. Let's check if everything still works normally. This looks good. Now we increase the logic. Yeah, okay, so I don't know if it will be an easy fix to address that camera problem. It's not a big deal, I would say, but it would be nice to... the discrepancy is so large, seemingly, right? Like it should have moved much further here to the police cars on the right side, right? So there's a huge discrepancy. Like it's not supposed to move here. It's moved more. It's supposed to move more to the right side, right? So clearly, it's not moving the way it should be. The question is why. It's odd. It's like there's some timing that is speed up because of the faster logic tick. Yeah. Where can we start looking? Update camera movements. When we set up the camera, move camera 2. Move camera 2. What about this ease times here? What is this? That looks rather innocent. What about this total distance here? total distance. Delta time is 16. Yeah. Now, realistically, it should be 16.66, right? So this is slower than it should be. Yeah. Maybe this discrepancy here in the timing does have such a big effect on it, right? It could be. Yeah, it could be. Okay, if we were to fix the integer time here, now for 30 FPS, we would need to preserve it so that the original logic remains. But for anything else, we could use time. So basically the so we would have to turn these two into reals. Okay, I would say the current status quo we can amend that. Good. Okay, how about we experiment putting this to real? These two. Then we go to total time milliseconds. And here, yeah, we take integer milliseconds, that's fine. If total time milliseconds is equals 1. Yeah. This already deals in real. Okay, that's good. Okay, how about here we say this. Then we also need to turn this into real. Nah, we can leave that in. It's okay. Okay, and where do we give it now the update? Here, right? Milliseconds. Okay, this one should be real. Let me search for all int milliseconds. Move camera to. So this one we keep. Rotate camera. Let's just focus on the waypoint path. Okay, and then we take a look at the other guy, elapsed. Okay, move along waypoint path. Where's that declaration? There. Okay, we change that to real. Let's see where that is called from. Here. Okay. Then here I would say we do yeah, let's just turn it to real and see what happens. Okay. Okay, my expectation is that now with a default camera movement on 30 render frames and 30 logic frames, there will now be a camera movement discrepancy. Let's see. Looks fine so far. We see the German. Things look okay. We see the barracks. We see the Helix helicopter, the Ranger, sneak attack, the mix. We see the police cars, the Comanches, the ambulance. Okay, actually it looks pretty good. I did not expect that. We see the Ranger drop. The boat. And the battleship. And the Comet Chinook. Okay, this actually looks pretty decent, I think. Okay, let's change the render FPS to 60 and follow along and see if that looks still the same. Yeah, the German is visible. Now it's going to the Tomahawk. To the barracks. Yeah. We see the police cars and the houses. The ambulance is not driving. Okay, but it looks okay. Then let's raise the logic rate. Logic, there we go, to 60. Still looks wrong. then it's something else. It's not that. They're causing the... something else. Question is what? What else is there? Oh, it's 16. Why is it 16? How? How? It should be 16.66. What is this? Oh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Do a 0. Oh, that's... Yeah. Then here we should do the same. Okay, let's try that again. It wasn't float, it was integer. Okay, let's double check that we get a good number in here. So we should get now 33.33, right? Yes, we do. Fantastic. Okay, then let's change it to... I somehow can't change it. What is this? What? There we go. Okay, so 60. Okay, so both is 60 now. Let's see. Yeah. It still is not quite right, no? It is a bit different. Not much, no. No, it's still wrong. Let's see if the 30 FPS is correct. somehow, yeah, this looks fine to me. It's something that the logic frame affects somehow the camera movement, and I don't understand how. It really is not obvious why that would happen. I don't know. Maybe it's just a side effect of not updating it as much. Yeah. I don't know. Let's revert this one here. Tweak. Change camera milliseconds. Change camera movements from integer to floating point precision. Okay, so unfortunately, I have no clue why this happens. There is something, maybe it's related to just skipping the frames and then some other update doesn't happen. And so the camera is not moving as far as it should. Something like that. Is there maybe... What about this update function here? Called once per frame. Where's this called? This updates. It is an update view. An update view is called in draw. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So this is within the render update, this update. Is there maybe something else that is maybe not called every frame? Yeah, it's possible that maybe something needs to be called every frame for the camera, but it's not. And then the timings are not right. Something. But what would that be? Shit. What about the draw function? This appears to be all in order here. Yeah, we are looking a little bit for the needle in the haystack here. There is some issue somewhere. Some issue somewhere. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ugh. What is the problem? So the camera movement only starts screwing up when we increase the logic, when the logic is sped up, then there's a divergence. Why? It is an original game bug. It's not a bug that we have introduced. It's an original game bug. I don't know where to start looking here. We need to find an in. You know, some place that gives us a clue where to start looking and, you know, then follow the chain of brokenness. Right now, I'm not sure where to look. Somewhere camera, but the code is vast. So this file is 3,000 lines. It's not that. What else is in this struct here? Rolling average frames. Shutter segment. Total distance. Let's look into this guy. What that is about. This one is a rear, right? Yeah. This one as well. So delta time times the total distance. Yeah. Seems to be right. Yeah. It indicates to me that it is a distance problem, right? It is a distance problem, maybe. But how? Move camera 2. There we go. Move camera 2. All right, so. This camera stutter. Seconds. Seconds. Move camera. Seconds. Yeah. I tried to like come up with an idea, but I don't see it. Where is this? It's somewhere. There's some place that changes logic, it breaks, it does a wrong calculation somewhere. The best lead I had was in regards to that some update doesn't happen here in this class. Some update, but these guys here, they're called at the appropriate time in the render updates. These are all in the render updates. Is there anything else that looks like an update here? Yeah, this one here. Update camera movements. Script actions. Camera. Move camera 2. Position. Frames, shutter orients. Frames 0. Look at what the fuck. I don't see it. Is there maybe anything inside the view class that is of relevance here? Hello? Can I jump to it? View.cpp. No, I don't see anything interesting here. Looks like most of it, all of it is here. Damn. I don't want to give up on this. Move along waypoint path. Elapsed time. Num frames. What is this? What? Frames. Long waypoint path. What is this called? I have no clue. Yeah, what's the time? Close to 3 hours. Yeah. I was really hoping that I would have some good idea on this, but I really don't. I don't. It's something with a distance. Like it's not it's not flying over the German care here right now. Here's a German in the corner. It's slightly off. Something is not right. I don't know what it is. And I think that this problem, I expect this only becomes larger the more frames we have. So let's compile and release. Yeah. And let's try 90 FPS, and then the problem will be even more visible, I would say. Okay, my hope was that the author would update this change. So I would like to merge this next because it is a blocker bug. Yeah. Looks like we need to wait for him. Okay, so we have our release build. Let's try 90 FPS. Yeah, so there we go, 90 FPS. So all the units, they move 3 times as fast now. The camera still moves slowly. But it does not move along the right path. Yeah. Yeah. Clearly. It takes shortcuts. It looks like the it looks like the camera Okay, I will take a break here. Look at it again next session. There must be something like it reaches a destination too fast, or it times out too fast, something. So the camera movement, it looks like it's like slow, like the original, right? The camera doesn't move much faster, but it doesn't travel to the right locations, or it finishes the movement before it reaches its final destination, right? So I don't know what to say about this. I don't know. We can maybe play around with the total time of the camera. Like we can increase it and see if that makes any difference. Yeah. Let me see if we go to move camera. Yeah. Yeah, this, yeah. Yeah, so the total milliseconds. So $10,000. I will study this a bit more next session. Yeah, maybe we need to do something here with this total time and multiply it or something. But I wouldn't have thought so because we decrease frame time. Right, this one is decreased to 11. Yeah, 11. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, anyway, I will take a break here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.